Eye of the Storm Issue 1 by Soule came out this week, giving us a full backstory into Marchion Ro. This is something a lot of people have been asking about ever since Soule mentioned that there's a reason that Marchion Row looks the way he does. Naturally, when this was said, the fanbase went wild with theories and speculations, but there was only one problem. We had virtually nothing to go off of. He didn't really stand out as anything specific that we would instantly recognize, but we still kept wondering. Well, now thanks to Eye of the Storm, we know that Marchion Row was part of a race of people known as the Evereni, and was from the planet Everon. 20 years before the Great Disaster, this planet was plagued with violent storms that caused the people to constantly adapt to live with their environment, until one day a vortex boiled up from the planet's core and destroyed everything. The Evereni were forced to leave their home planet and seek refuge elsewhere, but in doing so they discovered that they were not the only ones in the galaxy. The majority of his race was hunted down from other beings throughout the galaxy, as the Evereni were not accustomed to the already set laws, leaving them to shrink into fewer numbers, so they went into hiding, trying to learn and adapt to the new galaxy that they were just introduced to. We then jump to a young Marchion Row aboard the Gaze Electric talking with Mary Santeca, still in her life support case as we first saw in Light of the Jedi. Aside from Marchion, we get to meet his father Asgar and his grandmother Soule. The Nihil are already established by this point, and Asgar wants to put them into action, but after having a disagreement with his mother on whether or not the Nihil should make their move, he kills her out of rage, taking her spot as Eye of the Storm. By doing so, he challenges the Nihil to accept him as the Eye by taking on the Nihil pilots in a fight, but with Marchion as the pilot. Marchion seems to have exceptional skills in battle, but he has an issue listening to orders from his father, but still manages to complete his task, and the Nihil accept Asgar as the new Eye. We then fast forward 10 years to an interesting scene of Asgar, bloodied and defeated. He asks Marchion for help, but all he does is take his helmet, where he then walks into the Great Hall of the Nihil and declares himself the Eye, leaving us on a very disturbing to be continued page. This comic was interesting, but nothing about it was really exciting. I like that we're getting a backstory for Marchion Row, but seeing as this story will only have 2 issues, I was kind of hoping for more. But I'll wait on my final judgment until issue 2 arrives. There were still great things about this comic. The artwork is fantastic with plenty of full-page spreads, and I love now that I know what Marchion Row is and where he came from. I also really loved the parallels between Marchion and his father. When Asgar killed Soule, the Nihil told him that his mom was good people and that they all had history with her and that she had a lot of contacts. But when Asgar dies and Marchion takes over, they tell Marchion the exact same thing. I just really love that connection. I thought it was really clever and shows the kind of people that Marchion had to adjust to and find a way to take control of. Overall, Eye of the Storm was an okay comic. I do like the backstory, but I imagine a lot of it will remain clouded in mystery, as Soule probably doesn't want to have a character where every little detail is known about them, which I can totally respect. I do still hope the story can wrap itself up nicely, seeing as there really isn't much left to tell, but I'm always open to see what happens next. But that's everything I have to say about Eye of the Storm issue 1. What were your thoughts? Did you like learning about Marchion Row's backstory? How do you feel about the gaps in time that happened within the comic? And what do you think we will discover in issue 2? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.